Hello, hello, hello. My name is Lindaria Watts. This is my YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also follow my TikTok ministry and my Facebook as well. And I am so excited to bring this word. Listen, I have been studying this one for the last week, and I've been sitting on this word because something about this word right here just sits in my soul. So I'm still going to be in First Kings. Kings is very pivotal in this Bible, and I really want you guys to sit here in Kings with me because Elijah is here. And if you know about Elijah, you know he's one of the most powerful prophets there was. Listen, but in this instant, the powerful prophet Elijah himself was terrified of Jezebel, who was notorious for killing off prophets. But Elijah had just killed off 450 of her prophets. He just killed them off, and now he's on the run. And you're thinking, why is this prophet that killed all of these other prophets terrified and running? Don't worry, I'm about to inform you on what happened, who was next, and how God has you in mind. So we're going to dive in. We're going to be in First Kings, and we're going to go to 19. And I'm going to go to verse 9, and we're going to read all the way down into verse 18. But then we're going to read a little bit more because we're going to skip down to 19. And then we're going to go over to 2 Kings, and we're going to read in chapter 9, and we're going to read all the way down to verse 13. So this is very, very impactful. So just sit with me. I'm going to try not to stutter. I know I have a stuttering problem, but we're going to work through that. Moses did too, and God still let him use him. So come on. Ready, set, go. Let's eat. There he came to a cave lodged in it, and behold, the word of the Lord came to him. And he said to him, what are you doing here, Elijah? He said, I've been very jealous for the Lord, the God of hosts, for the people of Israel have forsaken your covenant, thrown down your altars, and killed your prophets with the sword. And I, even I only, am left, and they seek my life to take it away. And he said, Go out and stand on the mountain before the Lord. And behold, the Lord passed by, and a great strong wind tore the mountain and broke in pieces, and rocks fell before the Lord. But the Lord was not in the wind. And after the earthquake, but the Lord was not in the earthquake. And after the earthquake, a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire, a sound of low whisper. And Elijah heard it. He wrapped his face in his cloak and went out and stood on the entrance of the cave. And behold, there came a voice to him and said, What are you doing here, Elijah? And he said, I have been very jealous for the Lord, the God of hosts, for the people of Israel have forsaken your covenant, thrown down your altars, and killed your prophets with the sword. And I, even I only, am left. They seek my life to take it away. And the Lord said to him, Go return on your way to the wilderness of Damascus. And when you arrive, you shall anoint Hazael to be king over Syria, and Jehu, the son of Nimsi, you shall anoint to be king over Israel. And Elijah, the son of Sabat, and Abel, you shall anoint to be prophet in your place. And the one who escapes from the sword of Hazael shall Jehu put to death. And the ones who escape from the sword of Jehu shall Elisha put to death. Yet I will leave 7,000 in Israel, and all the knees that have not bowed to Baal, every mouth shall not be kissed him. So then we're going to come down to 19. So he departed from there and found Elisha, the son of Sabat, who was plowing the 12 yokes of oxen in front of him. He was the 12th. Elijah passed by him and cast his cloak upon him. And he left the oxen and ran after Elijah and said, Let me kiss my father and mother, and I will follow you. And he said to him, Go back, for what I have done to you. And he returned from following him and took the yoke of oxen and sacrificed them and brought them in their flesh and the yoke of oxen and gave it to the people, and they ate. Then he arose and went after Elijah and assisted him. So now we're going to come over to 2 Kings. I'm going to get to the point, y'all. Hold up. Ready? Let's eat. Then Elisha, the prophet, called one of the sons of the prophets and said to him, tie your garments and take this flask of oil in your hands. Go to Ramoth and Gilead, and you will arrive. And when you arrive, look there for Jehu, the son of Jehoshaphat, son of Nimshi, and go in and have him arise among his fellows, and lead him into the chamber. Then take the flask of oil and pour it on his head and say, thus says the Lord, I anoint you king of Israel. Then open the door and flee. Do not linger. So the young man, the servant of the prophet, went to Ramoth Gilead and went in, and he came. Behold, the commanders of the army were in council. And he said, I have a word for you, O commander. And Jehu said, to which of us? And he said, to you, O commander. So he arose and went in the house. And the young man poured the oil on his head, saying to him, thus said the Lord, the God of Israel, I anoint you king of the people of the Lord over Israel, and you shall strike down the house of Ahab your master, so that I may avenge on Jezebel the blood of the servants of the prophets and the blood of the servants of the Lord. For the whole house of Ahab shall perish, and I will cut off Ahab and every male bound or free in Israel. I will make in the house of Ahab like the house of Jehob, the son of Nebat, and like the house of Baasha, the son of Ahijah. And the dogs shall eat Jezebel in the territory of Jezreel, and none shall bury her. Then he opened the door and fled. When Jehu came out to the servants of the master, they said to him, is all well? Why did this mad fellow come to you? And he said to them, you know this fellow, he can talk. And they said, this is not true. Tell us now. And he said, he spoke to me, saying, thus says the Lord, I appoint you king over Israel. Then in haste every man took his garment and put it under him, and stepped and blew on the trumpet and proclaimed Jehu to be king. Listen, I know that was a lot to take in, but let me let y'all eat. If I was to title this, I would say Get Up. I would title this Get Up because I'm so excited. Because before God formed you in your mother's belly, he knew who you was. Listen, Elijah didn't know who Jehu was or who even Elisha was, but he knew that God spoke to him and said, these are the people I want you to appoint. Jezebel will be destroyed. Listen, you might be afraid of this mountain, but I got some people who I already formed in their mother's womb, and I already know that they're going to do what I tell them to do. All you got to do is speak a word over them, and it will be